Well, I want to welcome everybody to Screenwriting 101. You know, we're blessed in taking this course in that this course is not required. You chose this course and I chose this course. So we have a leg up on most of the other students in taking other courses that we want to do this. We want to be screenwriters. We want to be involved in the most exciting business there probably is, and that's the movies. Everybody likes the movies. Now, what I want to do with this first session is to use it for all of us to get to know one another and to get to know the course and what we hope to get out of this course, what our goals are, how we're going to get there, and how we can help one another to achieve those goals. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I did this through an email I sent to you last week where I gave you a heads up that what I would like to do is for everybody to introduce themselves, and not you just normal introducing where you just give your name, where you went to school, where you're from. I want to get more in-depth knowledge of each and every one of you, and I want you to know me. Now, the reason I do that is twofold. For one reason, I want to feel comfortable with you and you feel comfortable with me and with one another so that you're friends, that you have a relationship with one another. But number two, as we do this course, I want to know more about your backgrounds and your fellow students knowing your background. So when you're writing a script, let's say you're writing a crime drama, and there's someone in the class who's a former police officer, and they disclose that through this introduction session we're having today. Now, there's somebody that can help you with writing your script, or an advisor. And there are other disciplines like that. I'm an attorney, and we'll talk about that. There are people who have been dancers. Maybe you're writing a dancing type script. Some people can help you with that, school teachers. So you see my point. We need to know one another in depth so we can help one another. Now, I'm going to start off giving you a little bit about my background. I'm born and raised in Atlanta and graduated from Georgia State University in business, Bachelor of Business Administration. And then I went on to law school at John Marshall Law School and earned a doctorate of jurisprudence in law and worked most of my life as a practicing trial attorney. So perhaps that's going to be of help to you somewhere along the line. I no longer practice law. I spend my time teaching and writing, which is really my love. I am a jazz trombonist. Been playing trombone since I was 6 years old. So I still play in jazz combos and enjoy that. As far as my writing, I have written a nonfiction book called Panther Pride, The Story of Sports at Georgia State University. And it's self-explanatory. I basically write the history of sports at Georgia State University, which I dearly love, and still active with the Athletic Association there. Then I have also written a feature film called The Magician. And it's a kind of historical fiction on World War II, Pearl Harbor in particular, which I have a particular interest in. And it has fictional characters, obviously, but based on the nonfiction experience of the bombing of Pearl Harbor. I've written a TV hour-long pilot called The Cutterman. I spent 8 years in the United States Coast Guard, which I also enjoyed thoroughly. And the Cutterman is a ranking in the United States Coast Guard for somebody who spends a lot of time at sea. And my TV pilot is based on the United States Coast Guard, kind of like NCIS, if you're familiar with that, but some differences. But anyway, that's what that's about. I am currently writing another feature called American Beach, and that's based on a real beach in Florida, which was segregated up until 1964 or something like that. And the time period, it's a period piece that takes place in the 1940s and 50s when the beach was segregated and the big bands would appear there. Duke Ellington, Cab Calloway. Those names may not mean anything to you today, but nevertheless, it's a period piece. So I'm working on that. In addition, I've done a children's book because I've been involved in coaching sports with my kids as they were growing up. And my children's book is sort of how to play a certain sport. And it's for very young children. So that's kind of my background in writing. I've spent quite a bit of time practicing law, and as I say, those are still my hobbies as far as sports and of course writing and jazz trombone. Now I'd like to this time to go around the room and have everybody introduce themselves. You can volunteer if you want to be first and go forward. And as my questionnaire said that I sent out to you, I want you to tell me, of course, your name, where you live, your personal background, what your hobbies are, so we can know how that might fit into things we're doing. And I want you to brag on yourself. You know, we have to promote ourselves. That's not bragging. That's disclosing what you've accomplished, your degree, if you've got one, any awards that you've received. Maybe you were the valedictorian in your class. Come on, let's hear a lot about you. I want to know what your background in film and entertainment is, because we're going to be talking a lot about that. I want you to talk about why you chose this course. Now, you may be planning to be a screenwriter. I did some acting, incidentally. I didn't mention that, but I did some acting in independent films prior to my getting involved with screenwriting. I kept writing scripts. I says, I can write a better script than that. Well, we'll see. But nevertheless, you can see the pathway that I came into screenwriting. And I want to know why you chose this, and what do you hope to get out of this course? Are you going to go forward? We're going to be talking about 101 here. So there's so much to learn after this, but it's an exciting pathway. So you may be going down that pathway, or you may just want a little snippet of what this business is about to do something else in the field. So I want to know what your goals are. Where you plan to be in 5 to 10 years, whether it's in film or screenwriting or whatever. I'd like to know where you hope to be, and then I want you to tell me how I can help you achieve your goals in this class, because I'm sincere from my deepest parts of my heart to helping you succeed in what you want to accomplish through Screenwriting 101 and beyond. I hope we have a relationship that extends beyond that. Now, I want to tell you quickly about the course. The syllabus will describe everything. I'm going to just cover highlights here, but the syllabus is pretty detailed as to what is expected of you. And whenever you have any questions, you have my email in there, you have my telephone, you can contact me during office hours, which are listed in there, or you can contact me after those hours. I do want to have meetings with you from time to time, and the first meeting is mandatory, because I do want to get to know you. So I want you to plan on coming in, schedule an appointment within the first 30 days, and plan on spending at least 30 to 45 minutes that we can talk. If we need longer than that, we'll do it. But I want you to spend some time and we get to know one another on a one-on-one basis. Now, we're going to be we're going to approach this course from several points. Text, and the text will be Save the Cat, which is well known in the screenwriting field, and we'll be talking about the 15 beats that make up a film, the primary sequences that make up a film, and the 40 smaller scenes that make up those beats. So we'll be talking about that, and the Save the Beat, as well as the other texts, are available in the bookstore. Then we're going to be using Guide to Formatting from the Hollywood Standard by Christopher Riley. Now, that's a pretty thick book, and we won't have time to cover all that in this course. But I've taken excerpts of it and then put it on our D2L, which you can access online, and I've gotten permission from the author to do those so that you have access to that with no additional cost. Our main text will be Write Short Films by Linda Cowgill, and we're going to be doing a short 30-minute film. You will write a 30-minute film in this class. And the reason I do that, because we have the arc of the story, we have the arc of the characters, and we won't have time to do a full 2-hour feature. We will do a 30-minute film. You'll also need to get first draft software. It's expensive, let me give you a heads up, but it's very important. All screenwriters I won't say all, but I'd say 80 to 90% use Final Draft. So you need to do that. We'll be doing workshops. Workshops where we constructively criticize one another in our scripts. And I want to give you a heads up. It is constructive criticism. We encourage you to take apart your fellow students' scripts and tell them what they did right, what they did wrong, suggestions to improve, and this sort of thing. Nobody should get offended over that. You should welcome that. It serves two purposes: to better improve your script, and when you're criticizing someone else, it's making you better analyze other scripts. So you'll see we'll be doing text, workshops, lectures, and then we'll actually see some movies. And that's going to be a lot of fun. We will break down those movies. So the best movies, you will have a chance to analyze and see where the various plot points are. And I think you're going to find this course extremely exciting. And I'm excited to be here with you and lead the way. So let's get started.